I knew that they had got bail in all other cases except the UAPA case. So, I just immediately called my lawyer and, he tells me, it's true, it's true. So, without even me asking. So he's like, I was just going to call you only. So, so that is how I got to know. And I think for a very long time, like at least not till I saw it really going out on social media, that I actually, and I read a few news articles and all that, I actually believed that, it's true. So, I think it shows that, over the last year, we had been through so much, and so many injustices had happened that, even the thought of this happening was, so far from our mind. So, which is very sad. But now that it has happened, it seems so right, and it seemed that it seems like this was supposed to happen, right? And I feel that it has given us renewed hope. And although it is still very sad that we are celebrating the release of people who should not even have been arrested in the first place. I mean, that is how far, how far back we have come, in terms of having a robust democracy with the freedom to criticize, to protest, to have different opinions from each other, right? So, it's very late. I mean, I was the first one to get bail, but it was only on humanitarian grounds, and which I mean, it was not on merits. Although I'm extremely grateful for that, and I was in such a situation that I was very, very desperate for it. But it did make me sad that it did not help others come out, and for more than a year, I think I have lived with that. I mean, that it's been very bittersweet, because every time I've had a good sleep, it's not been like left from the thought that there are people, I mean, whom I met, whom I stayed there with, who were my support system, and kind people who are actually prisoners of conscience, who are still languishing behind jail for no reason, and we are not able to do enough for them. And I feel that I don't know, I'm being harsh on myself also, but I think there were constraints. It was a pandemic situation. The circumstances were such that, but we actually couldn't do enough for our friends who were, behind bars. Of course, like since so many years, we have been talking about these draconian laws, and it is not just the UAPA, but it is also the, there are the NSA for that matter, or like since so many years, we have been talking about the AFSPA and how draconian it is, and how it has been more misused than like properly used. So I mean, in these kinds of laws which are more misused than actually coming into use for the benefit of the people, I think they have no place in the society at all, and there is no two hoots about it, right? And when UAPA was coming, there were people who raised alarms about it, and that it is not going to help whatever in curbing terrorism, terrorist activities and all of that. But they were called alarmists, that they're anti-national, and they're being too alarmist. But now whatever has happened in the past few years, it has only reiterated the alarmism that was rightly shown. I mean, there were red flags when it was being passed, and it was rightly done. So I think that obviously, of course, the UAPA, the NSA, the AFSPA, all of these laws, they need to go, and they need to go right now, and there is no doubt about it. But also the fact that when I went to jail, I think it was, I mean, the circumstances, the evidence, like WhatsApp, it was ridiculous. But over the course of last year, I mean, there were cases which crossed all ridiculousness. I mean, UAPA for creating Google Docs, UAPA for going to interview the family of Dalit woman who was brutally raped and cremated overnight without the consent of her family. I mean, what is even happening? I mean, even the court has to. It's very sad that the court has to say this, that protest is not a conspiracy, and we have a right to protest, and dissent is not terrorism. Like, the court even has to say this in the world's largest democracy. I mean, speaks volumes about the kind of democracy that we have. And in fact, and for a country which shows pride and in its genesis from protest, I mean, these things need to be said and reiterated time and again. That in itself is a shame. This is all a nightmare, and it's just going to end very soon, and I'm going to wake up and be home, because I kept on having these nightmares since like a month, I mean, I think in fact since Sharjil's arrest, I kept on having these kinds of nightmares of me being arrested and escorted by like so much of police, and in tied up and all of that, being beaten and all. So I kept feeling that it was going to end, and that is when I met Gulfisha first, and she told me कि तुम रो क्यों रही हो, हमने कुछ गलत थोड़ी किया है, तुम्हें पता है ना ये लोग झूठ बोल रहे हैं, हमने कुछ गलत नहीं किया है. And I could just only, I mean, her innocence and I mean the conviction with which she said all of those things, I think it just made me cry more, and it made me, but it just, I mean, it's just a moment that I really remember, and we hugged at that time, and then she offered me a banana that she had, and that is what I ate for lunch. So that was my first encounter with her, and the police women who were with her and with me, they kept asking us, oh, stop acting like you don't know each other, stop acting like you don't know each other, you are co-conspirators. And she saw me and she was like, what is your name? And I told her my name is Safoora, and she said, oh, so you are Safoora. And I told her what's her name, and she told me her name is Gulfisha. So I was just, okay, you are Gulfisha, because they kept trying to link us zabardasti, and they kept asking questions to us about each other. And we were clueless about each other. We didn't know each other. She didn't know me. I didn't know her. So that is how we finally met. And, since then we were together. I remember that, she wasn't even allowed to make a call to her brother. She kept begging the SHO that, please allow her that call. And finally, the Jafrabad SHO, he dialed the number and gave it to her for like, I think, less than a minute. And I was there, I heard her talk, and it was inconclusive, basically. I mean, how much can you talk in a minute, right? So that happened, and I think when so what happened was that when we were uske baad we were kept in. So after Jafrabad, our custody was extended and given to this things. Then we were arrested in FIR 59, and we were in the special cell, but we were kept separately. But I remember that and she later told me that they would interrogate her with like 50 people, and mentally really torture her. Don't let her, they didn't let her sleep for so many nights, and kept asking her the same questions again and again and again and again. And she was very disturbed, uh, you know, by all of that visually. I mean, I could see that she was very disturbed, and even when she came to Tihar, so I couldn't meet her because uh, so basically what they did was they kept us in a separate ward, like it's a high security ward, right at the end of the jail, where like there is nobody, and it has very high walls and barbed wires. I mean, the ward itself, inside the Mahila jail, there are 10 wards. That ward is very separate. So they kept, because they had formed some COVID protocols, so they kept me there for 24 hours. And, to after that, if you don't have fever, then they will shift you to the another ward and then isolate you there also. So apparently she'd run fever, like a little bit, maybe because she was just very tensed and stressed, and she kept telling me that I don't want to go to jail. And I was so stupid. I told her that my lawyer has told me that JC is better for us than PC. So she told me, no, you don't know. Tihar is so bad. I mean, it's very bad. I mean, she doesn't. I mean, I don't want to go to Tihar. I was like, I don't know, yaar. Everybody. I mean, the lawyers are saying that JC will be better for us than PC. So, but then what happened was that she ran a fever, and they kept her there only. They didn't shift her to the normal ward, and they kept her there for like 15 days. And when I met her after that, I cannot tell you, her mental condition was very bad. I mean, I think some constable had told her कि यहाँ पर तो लोगों की 16 साल से बेल नहीं हुई है, तुम्हें क्या लगता है कि तुम्हारी बेल हो जाएगी? All of that. So, and you are under UAPA, and all of that. UAPA में you will never get a bail. अब तो तुम सोच लो कि your life is here only, and all of that. And she would get so scared in that ward because there was nobody at night. So, and then I think there were some problems also that happened. So finally, some prison guard was kept as peheredar there, because she would get so scared and she would actually shout. So, and when she came from there, I mean, I told her to go for counseling and all also. But what happened was you go to the medical room in the jail, and there are some psychologists. So basically, for everything, they will give you a pill, like to sleep, right? Sleeping pill. I think Shajil would also know and relate. So that's what they started doing with her. And I think she was really she was not able to deal with all of those things. And she was also told not to talk to me inside the jail, because she was told that I am Kashmiri, and Kashmiris are terrorists, and if you talk to her or are seen with her, then you will not even get the basic things that other prisoners get here. So yeah, so she was very hesitant to talk to me after coming to Tihar. So she maintained her distance for some time, but when she actually realized that they are just trying to play with our minds, so I tried to counsel her, and there were other people also who tried to counsel her and all, but I think her condition was not good. She started taking a lot of sleeping pills, and sleeping through the day and the night also. And for some time, like, I was really scared for her, but I think slowly through talking and through counseling, she overcame it quite a lot. But and when Devangna, Natasha also came to jail, so since she knew them already, she was also very attached to them. So that is when I actually saw her getting better, and And also, she was very, very concerned about her family. She didn't know about her case at all. She was not in touch with her lawyers at all. And she would feel quite, left, you can say, like completely left. Although her family, tried to stand with her and all of that. So in all of this, when I met her in jail last time, because so when I met her during the production, so we thought that when physical production is happening, these people are going to let us at least meet each other, but that did not happen. There was so much of security, like there were wires and everything, and we, like, even I was not allowed to meet other co-accused, and they were covered by the police from all sides. And I tried to talk to Gulfisha, but they won't let me. But I just hugged her and I told her that don't, just hold your ground and you will get out and don't lose hope. And she just smiled and she just went. So I am really looking forward to actually see her come out of all of this. And she wants to do a PhD, and I mean, I really want her. I really want this to end for her. I know it has been difficult for others also, but I think for her, I was most concerned. I mean, I knew, as a matter of fact, when I met Natasha, when I met Devangna, they were prepared. So what happened was that we were the first ones to be arrested. Our arrests were very arbitrary. No rule of law was followed. But in their case, and there was no knowledge of this FIR at that time, what this FIR is even about. And then UAPA was invoked and all of that. So when they came to jail, they told me that we were since we were named in the FIRs, we were asked to be prepared. So we were mentally prepared and all of that. And they came in much stronger and with a better mindset. But they told us that don't think that you are just going to get bail anytime soon. Like, we are to thinking at least 2-3 years. That was the level of hopelessness that we were all going through. But a lot of things happened. Like, we got each other. We like spent a lot of time each other. They really helped me, like a lot of physical work and all of that. So, and that is the only. So I have met these women only in a caged environment, like first PC, then JC. So it will be very different for me to actually meet them outside of custody. And I don't know when that can happen or whether that can even happen because of the seriousness or the nature of our case. But I'm really looking forward to when it happens. I feel that definitely, it is going to give a renewed vigor to the movement, to the anti-CAA and RC movement. And even, the movement was called off or it had slowed down only because of, the pandemic. And the pandemic is still there, and that is really a major constraint for us, as it has been for the farmers who are still sitting on the borders. So, and I feel that there's not only just one strategy to protest. Of course, I mean, in our own ways, we have still been continuing, like the protest is still continuing. And it'll be too much to expect from people, to just come out from the jail and just jump into the battlefield, because I think they will all have their own demons to deal with.